Let's take a look at the cool features within the Baratie. Hi, I'm Justin at Baratie Bricks. As a LEGO ambassador, I occasionally get the opportunity to review some really cool sets, and I can't wait to tell you some of my favorite details about the Baratie. In this review, I'll dive into a few of my favorite build techniques, we'll take a look at the minifigures, and talk about some pros and cons. If you'd like to see a deeper view, I've got another video that shows the entire build process from beginning to end. Before we get started, I'd love it if you would like and subscribe to support the growth of the channel. There are 5 sets total in the one-piece line, and the Baratie is the largest and by far the coolest of all the sets. The build does a fantastic job capturing all of those fun, iconic details that we see from the Netflix TV series, and it's really fun to dive into all of those details. So first, we've got the outside facade looks perfect and really matches what we'd expect to see. I'm loving the fish head detail at the front. I'm also loving the curved walls, which we'll talk about the techniques and how to build both of those. Flipping it around, you see a great look into the interior. So we've got the dining area, so the main area down here with some dining area up above as well. We also have the office, the kitchen, which is fully fleshed out and really cool, and then of course the bar that's in the fish head. On the outside, we've got the ship at the top, which is a smaller build and so much fun in and of itself. We also have, of course, the opening facade details. I'm loving these monochrome mermaids that we have on the outside. And then we also have this fun spinning detail here on the outside that allows you to recreate some of the iconic fight scenes that we see. This is set number 75640, has 10 minifigures, 3,402 pieces, and retails for $329.99. Ouch, that is a super high price, and honestly is one that really frustrates me. I don't love seeing higher priced LEGO sets. That said, it is full of such incredible detail that I'm thinking that if you're a major fan of the show and want something that's a great collectible and something that you can have on display, this is a fantastic one. I do appreciate too that there are some elements of play features included here as well, but it is biased more towards display than it is to play features. So let's take a look at some of my favorite parts of the build. In bag 1, we get Mihawk's ship, and this is created in such a really cool way. So you'll notice here that there are some clips that attach these side walls to create basically the shape of a coffin. So I'm loving how that replicates the shape of what we see in Mihawk's ship, and is done in a really unique and interesting way using those clips. You can see if you look underneath that the plates don't go all the way across, so obviously this wouldn't float, but it does create the visual the way that we'd want to see it. In those early bags, we build Mihawk's ship, and then we start to build out the fish head bar. This is attached in such an interesting way. The head is made and designed to where the top of the head doesn't actually touch the lips. Those lips are attached using Technic axles all the way through. And then we also have Technic axles that rest to the top of the head, creating that smooth, curved structure that's beautiful and perfectly replicates what we see in the show. The other thing I'm super impressed with is the way that the designers from LEGO have created a perfectly curved outside rounded edge that we see on the left and the right of the ship itself. If you look at it from the top, you'll notice how these walls curve, and they curve beautifully. This is done using clips and bars on the inside as well. So they clip in here kind of towards the middle on this side, and clip in here towards the middle on this side, and then they kind of move and curve in. Then we're using some rounded pieces on that outside to create that rounded effect. So that creates that nice angle that we see, and then really gives that perfect shaping of a ship that we see in the iconic restaurant. And then on the outer edge, we also see a perfect angle that angles up and kind of out, and that is accomplished by putting in this wall that curves down from the kitchen. As it's not firmly clipped in, you can push it open pretty easily. And the nice thing about this is it lets in some natural light, so you can have some light in on the outside, and that allows you to take some great minifigure photos inside the kitchen. So that's a nice little feature that I think the intention is more for the shaping, but adds to the fun of this set. There are also additional curved techniques here in the top portion of basically a piece of furniture on the inside, and then also over here on this side as well. And these just curve up using just regular hinges, but that helps create that same facade that we're looking for. Near the end of the build experience, you also get to build out this tiny ship at the top. And what I love about that is it's built using very different techniques than we see for the rest of the build. And it provides some interesting kind of like microscale techniques in building. Really beautiful in and of itself, separate from the rest of the ship, but obviously matches everything that you would need for the facade of the restaurant. And continuing on with the beautiful angles, we've got these two little corner booth areas that are angled using some turntables underneath. So really interesting techniques that build out fun details that really bring the Baratie to life. Let's also take a look at the minifigures. So we get 10 incredible minifigures here. 5 of them are unique to this set alone. So these 5 here on the bottom row only come in this set. The 5 on the top row come in multiple different sets. We'll take a closer look at their front printing and their back printing here. I'm loving how we see lots of front and back printing and a lot of arm printing as well. So many of them have dual molded arms with lots of different colors included. We're also getting some great new parts. So I'm loving the different hats and hair pieces that we get, where there's a hat attached to the hairpiece. And in Luffy's case, there's even sets that have the hat just by itself that he can hold on to, and a separate hairpiece as well. So lots of really good parts that I think could be reused in different ways. And I think they did a good job matching the hairstyles, doing a great job with the individual face prints that we have for each of the characters. They really do feel spot on to me with what we see in the show. One of the things I was disappointed in is we do have lots of black and white tiles on the floor, and I love that that was pulled in, but it doesn't create exactly that curved spiral floor that we see in the show. That's one of the things that I was excited to learn how they did the build techniques, and a little disappointed to see that this is a little bit more of a squared off quilted technique. That said, it is on stud and on grid like Lego is normally built, and I think they captured a lot of the essence of that by providing a lot of other curved details like the curved stairs, these rounded areas with those balconies, the rounded areas down here with those seats. So there's still plenty of round iconography that evokes that same feeling, but I did think it was slightly a bit of a miss to have this just be more like a quilted square. That said, I am glad that they went with black and white tiles, both here and then also in the kitchen, to evoke some of the vibe that we see from the show. Another con that I see here is I would love to have a larger brick-built kitchen. There's so much of the story that happens inside the kitchen here, and I feel like we miss and lose a lot of that with this smaller space. That said, I don't know how they would do that and still create the size and scale of this to match perfectly. You'd have to really take away from the dining area, which is very important to have done correctly. So, not really sure how they'd fix that. Maybe it would be a separate build that would be just the kitchen of the Baratie. And then of course my last con is the price. The set became available for purchase August 1st and is available for $329.99. The price of Lego sets is so expensive, and I hate that anytime we have it connected to an IP, the price goes up even more. This one is lower priced with the IP than some of the other IP related sets that we have. So I don't know, it's not my favorite for sure. This is one that's going to price a lot of people out from having the experience to build this one. If you are a big One Piece fan, if you are a lover of building large Lego pop culture sets, this is a great set for you. Overall, I loved the set and loved the build. It was so much fun to build, especially re-watching the series of One Piece and re-watching the episodes in particular that featured the Baratie added a lot more depth to the experience of it as well. So I'd love to hear your thoughts. Let me know in the comments, is this a set that you plan to pick up? So that wraps up my review of the Baratie. If you'd like a deeper look, I have another video that goes through every single build step. I'd love it if you would like and subscribe to continue supporting my channel. And as always, build kindness.